this exercise 6 of time speed distance. The distance between Guntur and Hyderabad is 400 kilometers. Trains PQR travel at 40, 60 and 80 kilometers per hour respectively. P and Q leave from Guntur for Hyderabad and Hyderabad for Guntur respectively. R leaves from Hyderabad for Guntur 4 hours after Q. Q met with an accident X hours after it started. It travelled at 1/3 of its original speed thereafter. If it meets P 1 hour behind the scheduled meeting time, when did the accident occur? Wow, huge amount of data. Let's draw a figure to understand the question. So the question tells us that distance between Guntur and Hyderabad is 400 kilometers. Trains PQR travel at 40, 60, 80. P and Q leave from Guntur for Hyderabad and Hyderabad for Guntur respectively. So train P goes from Guntur to Hyderabad in this direction. Train Q goes from Hyderabad to Guntur in this direction. Speeds of train P and Q are 40 and 60. So speed is 40 kilometers per hour and speed is 60 kilometers per hour. R leaves from Hyderabad for Guntur 4 hours after Q. So R also leaves in this direction. Remember, its speed is 80 kilometers per hour. So it has left plus 4 hours, 4 hours after Q. So whenever Q left, R has left 4 hours after that. Q met with an accident X hours after it started. So Q met with an accident. Let me say this is the place where accident takes place. X hours after it started. This is X hours after it started. It travelled at 1/3 of its original speed thereafter. Thereafter the speed of Q hence became not 60 but 1/3 is 20. If it meets P 1 hour behind the scheduled meeting time, when did the accident occur? You can choose whichever method you want to apply. You could start checking the choices, or you could look at just solving the question using the data which is given there. Okay. So let's look at just solving the question and not using the choices at this point of time, and later on we'll see how to use the choices also. What was the scheduled meeting time? Let's look at that. The distance is 400 kilometers and the speed of the trains are 40 and 60 kilometers per hour, P and Q. So if the speeds are 60 and 40, that means the effective or the latest speed is 100 kilometers per hour, or they would have met 4 hours after start. Okay, they would have met 4 hours after start whenever they started. Okay. But as per the question, they meet 1 hour behind the scheduled meeting time. That means while they should have met 4 hours after start, they are now meeting 4 plus 1, 5 hours after start. Why? Because after the accident, the train has reduced its speed from 60 to 20 kilometers per hour. Okay. So what was the distance covered by both the trains before the accident? The distance covered by both the trains was 60x plus 40x, 100x. Okay. So 100x was the distance covered by both the trains together, or the distance between the trains at the time of accident was 400 minus 100x. And the relative speed of the trains after the accident becomes 60 becomes 20, because the speed becomes 1/3. From 60 it has become 20, 1/3 plus 20 plus 40, sorry. So 40 plus 20 makes it 60. So this is equal to 60. So the two trains will take this much time after the accident to meet, but before the accident X hours had already elapsed. So the total time for meeting the two trains is 5 hours. So this is the effective equation for you. So this is the time taken for the two trains to meet after the accident. The accident took place X hours after starting. So the total time elapsed from the time of starting for meeting is this plus X, which is nothing equal to 5. you can solve this equation to get the answer. So this gives you the answer as, so this will give you the answer as x equal to 2.5 hours. Okay. So when you solve this particular equation, it will give you x equal to 2.5. So which means the accident occurred 2.5 hours after the train started from Hyderabad. Okay. Choice A. Now as I said, you could have started just checking the choices. Take a choice in the middle of the range. So between 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Let me check choice B. If I have to check choice B, 2 hours after the train start does the accident take place. So in 2 hours, the trains have cumulatively covered 40 into 280 plus 60 into 280, 120. So they have covered 200 kilometers. So out of 400 kilometers, total of 200 kilometers has been covered before the accident, which means 200 kilometers is left. So the distance to be covered after the accident is 200 kilometers, which has to be covered at the speed of 40 plus 20, 60. So 200 by 60. So the time taken will be 63 is 183 hours and 20 minutes. So instead of 5 hours, the meeting time as per the question is 4 hours plus 1 hour delay. Total time is 5 hours. It has become 2 hours plus 3 hours 20 minutes. It has become effectively 5 hours 20 minutes. So my answer cannot be choice B. It has to be more than choice B, which is more than 2 hours after start. Why more than 2 hours after start? Because if the accident occurs later, they will be able to meet slightly earlier. So my answer cannot be choice B. It can also not be choice D. It has to be more than 2 hours, and data insufficient in any case is incorrect. And out of the remaining two choices, C and A, you can choose which one to check. If that satisfies, that's the answer. Otherwise, the other choice becomes the correct answer.